All right, how you going? Been getting a lot of questions lately about what we carry in our backpacks and our bum bags. We do carry a lot of gear because when we're up there, we're so remote that we pretty much got to be self-sufficient. So I'll run through a few of the things that we got that I run anyway. We'll start from this end. So I've got pretty much all the Allen keys, and I've got all the spanners and socket sets that I need for the bike. I don't carry any spanners or stuff that doesn't fit the bike. It's waste of weight. Run T-bars. We've got sprocket tensioners as well, which are handy. I've had a tire come loose on tour, so if it happens once, it's going to happen again. So it's just handy to keep that. I've got the socket set, little quarter drive, super handy. I use that a lot, all the time. Also run a multimeter with electrical tape. Electrical tape's handy for everything. You can fix just about anything with it. And as well as a set of jumper leads. It just makes life a lot easier than swapping batteries out and putting them back in. Just want to try and get back on the road as quick as we can. Vice grips and pliers, little vice grips, something gets stuck. You know, you got a bit more grip to, a bit more force. Also run tyre levers. I run the bigger tyre levers, a little bit heavier, but make life 10 times easier. I've noticed now that I'm running mine, a lot of the other tour guides and the other companies are running them as well. They're bloody good, heavy, but make jobs so much faster. When we got the tyres, then we got the WD-40 as well. Spray it around the rim, helps put the tyre on the rim when you put the new tube in, so that's always a handy little tool. I always run a chain breaker, a little bit of link, and a joiner, just if you ever do snap a chain, try and fix it, just so you can get them back to camp that day to put a new one on. We also run GoPro, so we have GoPro, batteries, and all that stuff. Chest thingy. But yeah, try and get all our footage. Also got a saw, so these are handy as, and they actually cut really well. When we're at the start of the season, no one's been up Cape York because of the wet season, so you don't know what you come across. A lot of trees over the road. Sometimes you got to cut your way through. It's definitely an adventure on the first one. Got a cable repair kit. Never had to use one yet, but always carry it just in case. Also have a life straw. So run one of these. It's normally empty, but if anyone runs out on tour, runs out of water, we can fill them up out of the creek. A lot of people just drink straight out of the creek, but I'm not real keen on getting diarrhea, so I always put it through a life straw. I've got a box of nuts and bolts, especially for the DR. Also got one for my Husky and one for my Vita. I'll just swap them out in my tool bag whichever bike I ride. Also, Towmate. These things are cool, you've never seen them before. Pretty much just hooks to foot peg, and you can towing's easy. We've done 120 something Ks one day for broken bike. Towed them all the way back to camp. You can sit on 60 Ks an hour. And if you feel a bit nervous, you just lift your foot off and you can break apart. It's a cool little tool. Also carry some metal putty. Use that a ton of times. Crack casings or sumps or fuel tank leaks or anything like that. That's always a handy one to have. The newest thing I carried last year was the Smart Pump. This was a game changer. It's just so much easier. Just screw it in, lithium battery. I've used it 5, 6, 7 times and still not flat, so that's good. But also carry the CO2 cylinders for backup, because always got to try and run backup plans for everything. So got a little chuck for it. We run some rope. Never know what you need rope for. Always find a use for it. It's always handy to have. Always carry a spare set of wheel bearings. Every now and then we do a set of wheel bearings. Normally you just check them when we pull up, and if they got a little play, I'll just change them out. It takes me about 10-15 minutes. My Leatherman. Always carry my Leatherman, always handy, easy to get to. Also carry a Garmin InReach. So these are good, so if I need to call for emergency services, I can. Marley can track me, know exactly where we are at all times. People back home, if you got your partners that want to follow, we can give you the password for it, and they can actually get live data on where we are at, and it drops breadcrumbs every 15 minutes. Spare batteries. I always also carry a radio, so wouldn't have had to call the Halo in for a bad injury, especially on the tele track. There's a lot of people, helicopter comes in low, a lot of people start waving and helicopter lands and they're like, where's the problem? And they're like, no, we're just waving at you. So now we've got a two-way, so we can, when we're talking to the emergency services over the inReach of the phone, I can tell them I'll be on channel 14, and when I see the helicopter, I can talk to him, and it's just a bit better two-way communication. Very handy, and it works very well. What else we got? Hip binders. I carry a hip binder. The two biggest injuries that we never want to see on tour is a femur and a pelvis. So hip binder is designed to pull your hip together, slow the bleeding down if you've got internal bleeding, and then it's our job to buy time until we get the emergency services to the patient. So it's a little bit bulky, but it saves lives. It brings us to our first aid kit. This is an old one from another tour I used a couple of years ago. We're going to update that. That's a bit outdated. So we're going to have our full rural bike first aid kit. And then what else we got? I always carry some Benadine. So this is the mouthwash Benadine. It's actually got a numbing agent in it. So if someone does fall off and graze or big cut or something, sprinkle it on and it just takes the sting out of it, so it helps. I normally take some Panadol. If someone's got an injury, I give them that. Just give them Panadol. Tell them it's Panadine Fort, but it's not. But they seem to believe it and they think it works really good. That's about it. And we just run our backpack and a bum bag, and that's about it for us. So